Over the past several weeks, I've been working around the clock on my indie Metroidvania Dewdrop Dynasty. From level design and puzzles to bug fixes, I just wanted to share what I've been up to, and here we go. Really, the bulk of my time has been spent working on levels. It might have been pretty obvious to some of you, but Dewdrop has been lacking new locations for a while now. I'm sure most of you are tired of seeing this desert location, and even though Tumbleweed is an important part of the game, it shouldn't be the only part of the game. So it was very clear to me that it was time for me to build out the rest of the world. Now, it might not come as a surprise to longtime viewers of the channel, but in the past, I've made several partial or unsuccessful attempts to build out the map. And this is mainly because the scope of the game kept changing. One of the big factors was the camera system. Before it used to be locked and now it's not, so rooms can be a lot bigger than they were. But probably the biggest part of it was not having the mechanics finally finished, which if you saw last devlog, you'll know they finally are. So we started off by making a list of all the items, abilities, upgrades, bosses, all the things you can get in the game. Then I used Affinity Designer to quickly block out the rooms with each one of these grid blocks representing like 20 tiles. And then after an area was built out, I would indicate which room had locks and puzzles or you need a certain ability for to get to the boss. And without having to create a single room in Godot, I was able to get a good sense of the flow of the game and how the map would connect. Also, this map here is just an example of what I did. That way I didn't spoil anything. So there you go. So once I finished the map, it really was a matter of jumping back into Godot and designing each room one by one, which you can imagine took me a couple of weeks to do. And sometimes if a room felt too big or too small, or if an area needed tweaked, I would just go back and I would update the map. So it was a cool process seeing how like the map and the world evolved as I would work on it. And with that said, every room has now been built and you can technically play through the entire game and even make it to the credits. And for those who are curious, the map is now like 10 times the size it was in the demo. So it's pretty exciting. And even though not all the bosses and enemies and hazards are finished, Dewdrop really is starting to feel like a Metroidvania now. And of course, a bigger map means we need a better mini-map system. So I revisited and improved Dewdrop's map system by giving the player the ability to place and remove tokens. I once read this review that said, if you're going to steal anything from Hollow Knight, you should steal its map system. And I really took that to heart. Yeah, though I don't know how far I should take that. So is it just placing the tokens that people love about Hollow Knight, or is it buying them at the shop? I don't know. I'd really love to get your perspective. What do you guys think is crucial for a mini-map in a Metroidvania? Please let me know down below. Also, one last thing about the mini-maps is most of the mini-map rooms look like this right now. Basically just like boxes. And those are just placeholder for now. Once I'm 100% sure that a room is done, we're not going to change anything with it, then I'll make the more detailed map that you see like in Tumbleweed. Now, another thing I've been working on a lot recently is cleaning up and polishing certain aspects of the game. Little things like making sure that like walls blow up on both sides when bombing a crack, or when you push a block and it goes into a slot, it plays a little jingle, kind of like The Legend of Zelda, and also adding like smooth vertical room transitions. Those are the little details that really make or break a game, and something we're going to be doing a lot more before the game's release. And speaking of details, I also experimented with some new artwork as well. Even though all the rooms have been added to the game, most rooms only have their basic tiles so far, or maybe like a background tile. I still need to go back to make the unique props and backgrounds and big items like buildings and things. But this led me to start playing around with how these areas could look with some more dynamic props. Things like this lava waterfall. I guess it's not a waterfall, but you know what I'm saying. Or even playing around with some more depth with foreground layers. This was a test I was doing for the Cactodilla fight. Let me know what you guys think of it. But I'm really excited to see how these areas develop, though I want you to know that I'm currently focusing my time on finishing the rest of the enemies and bosses right now. Artwork is super important, but gameplay is more important, and I'd rather get the gameplay in a good place before I start making all the final art. Now, last time I shared how many wishlists Dewdrop currently has, and I wanted to continue the trend with this video, and currently we're at almost 17,000 wishlists, which is pretty crazy considering that just last month we were at 14,000. So I really just want to say thank you guys so much for all your support, and if you haven't wishlisted Dewdrop on Steam, please do, as it helps us out tremendously. And speaking of support, I also wanted to say that Dewdrop will have support for Windows, Mac, and Linux, which in turn also means the Steam Deck as well, which is pretty cool. Also, people keep asking whether or not it'll be on the Nintendo Switch, and we're not sure yet. It all depends on the success of Dewdrop's launch and if there's still interest in the Switch, considering hearing that the next Switch is about to be announced this year, and that could change the whole gaming space there. Also, I'm so excited to say that we've been able to bring back Peter Reed Jones to compose a couple more tracks for Dewdrop. Peter and I have been going back and forth with a special track that we're super excited to share, but I real quickly wanted to say that none of it would have been possible if it wasn't for the continued financial support from today's sponsor, Brilliant. Okay, you might know this by now, but Brilliant is where you learn by doing, with thousands of interactive lessons in math, data analysis, programming, and of course, AI. Now, one thing I really like about it is Brilliant helps build your critical thinking skills through problem solving, not memorization. So while you're building real knowledge on specific topics, you're also becoming a better thinker. Brilliant is a learning platform designed to be uniquely effective. Each lesson is filled with hands-on problem solving that can let you play with concepts, a method proven to be 6 times more effective than just watching boring lecture videos. Plus, all the content on Brilliant is crafted by an award-winning team of teachers, researchers, professionals from MIT, Caltech, Duke, Microsoft, and learning a little every day is one of the most important things you can do for both your personal and professional growth. Brilliant helps you build real knowledge in minutes a day, with fun lessons you can do whenever you have time. It's basically the opposite of mindlessly scrolling, which is a beautiful thing. Now, if you want to start programming, Brilliant has a growing number of programming courses that are a great way to start building foundational programming skills and learn real-world applications. Get familiar with Python and start building programs on day one with a drag and drop editor. Learn essential coding elements, things that everyone should know like loops and variables. And most importantly, develop your mind to actually think like a programmer. To try everything Brilliant has to offer for free for a full 30 days, visit brilliant.org/Goodgis or click the link in the description. You'll also get 20% off annual premium subscription, so check it out. Other than that, make sure to check out goodgis.fun. It's my website. There's all sorts of stuff, Q&A, pictures of me. It's beautiful. Also, speaking of which, I think I need to get back to work with Dewdrop, so I'll see you guys next time.